think your father would respond to modern day horror fandom?
I think he'd be blown away. I mean, you know, literally, I didn't say, I drove around for a half hour trying to park. I rushed in, there was, you know, a line of 15 people waiting for me. I didn't sit down till just now. You know, and I kept thinking, he's been gone almost 35 years. And there are people who, you know, who are telling me, you know, somebody named their son Vincent, how much they love my dad, you know, and there were actual young people, like is Drew here? You know, I mean, young people who are into my dad. And I think my dad would be so thrilled because one of his favorite things about horror was, so he was in his 40s when he was cast in House of Wax, right? And a lot of his peers, some of whom were way more famous than he was were starting to kind of fade away. And he kept getting more and more popular. And who was making him popular were kids, young people. And he loved that because he was a child at heart and he was constantly interested in what young people were interested in. That's why he did, you know, albums with Alice Cooper and, you know, everybody. He wanted to know what young people were into. And same with the sitcoms. And so I think if he, first of all, he wouldn't believe that, I mean, he was mocked by a lot of his peers. You're a Yale-educated, University of London-educated, fine actor. What are you making these schlocky movies for, right? I mean, they really mocked him. And it's absurd because, you know, horror is, of course, a legitimate genre, but the fact that it's now like the genre, he would be blown away by. And then I mean, really literally, like I could imagine him and imagine what you would think. Because he was so, you know, he was not a small person. He was 6'4". He had that voice that couldn't belong to anyone else. Imagine if he walked into a convention now. I mean, the whole place would just be like, you know. It happened all the time when I was a kid, but now, I mean, it would be unbelievable. He would be blown away. And honestly, as a daddy's girl, as somebody who loved her dad, as somebody who knew how important it was to him to stay current, he's been gone 35 years, he's still current, you know, people still love him, people are still finding out about him. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.